Alright, 2023 has been a crazy year for Mcoc, especially with the champions. There have been some crazy additions like Kate Bishop, who else? Future Ant-Man, Adam Warlock, and then this guy right here, Absorbing Man. And there are good arguments for all these champions, but I feel like the consensus is that Absorbing Man is currently the champion of the year, and for good reason. This man is just a crazy powerful character. Right here we have this Eternian Pain Hercules fight, and Absorbing Man is a very, very unique Mystic character. He does have some Mystic tropes, like for example, reducing buff duration of Unstoppable, Indestructible, Unblockable, and Pierce. 2 of the 4 buffs in this fight right now, which is why he's so good for it. But besides that, and like maybe immunity to armor break, I feel like he just isn't a Mystic champion. And that's not bad at all, don't get me wrong. That is honestly a good thing because he feels just insanely unique, which is crazy because we have over 250 champions now. So being unique is very hard to do, but Absorbing Man does it very, very well. And yeah, this man, he is built around taking advantage of his immunities and his forms and just being a monster when it comes to both damage and utility, right? Because he has it all. He has the damage output, he has the utility, he is just a very all-around champion, right? And like in Battlegrounds, he can just take a bunch of stuff. He can be a great defender as well. Actually, he got a bit of a nerf on defense because he was apparently being too difficult for some like tier and alliance war, which is fair enough, right? But yeah, this fight here is going pretty well. Well, it was, because then this happens. I get hit, I freak out, so I just drop the SP1, but the fight is over, so it's fine. That was pretty fast, though. That was like, what, a minute and 42 seconds for a rank 3 6-star? Very, very good. Now we have the other side of Absorbing Man, and this side is just a bit silly. This is Gauntlet Terrax, a lot of health, a very like big health pool here for Terrax, and yeah, just see what happens, man. Just see what happens here. I dropped the heavy, another one into the SP2, and yeah, the damage output is just it is pretty sweet. It is pretty sweet to say the least, and he is just melting. To be fair, so are we, but we are winning the race. We are winning the damage race so far. We go back in, we drop the SP2 again, and yeah, the fight is just over in about 35 seconds, which is just insane, right? That is just so good. That is the side of Absorbing Man that I like the most. And that is the side of him that people just, you know, they want that side of him, right? Like when he's by himself without any like armor break, he is still pretty dang sweet, right? But the fact that he can do that is what makes him so good. And right here we have this Biohazard lane, and Absorbing Man in fights where he is immune to something is just so good because there is zero stress with pausing his forms, and when there aren't immunities to take advantage of, you have to do light intercepts to pause his forms, and that does get a bit annoying at times. So like that is my one downside to the champion. But honestly, it's a good way to practice light intercepting, just playing this guy. His reach is pretty decent, I would say. Sometimes it isn't enough though, so that is like another downside. But besides that, he is just very well made. And if he paused his form from like a medium intercept 2, I feel like that would be maybe too good. I don't know. It might be too good, it might not be, who knows, man, but we'll never find out. But yeah, this fight is going pretty well. Like, in these fights, he's still doing pretty sweet damage-wise. He is a good damage dealer, like, in a general sense. He is a great damage dealer, but when he has the armor break cheese, he is probably the best damage dealer in the game, if I'm being honest. He is just that good in that one scenario. And here we have the shock lane here. Absorbing Man is immune to bleed and shock in the Uru form, and in the Magma form, it is Incinerate and Cold Snap. So that is 4 immunities of damage over time debuffs. Additionally, in Uru form, he has a ton of physical resistance, right? So that pretty much makes him immune to Rupture as well, because you cannot really take too much damage from Ruptures. So that's pretty much 4 full-on immunities, right? And then also 1 pseudo, and then 1 with armor break as well. So that's 6 pretty much. That is really crazy stuff, and that just shows how versatile this character is, and that's why he can take just so many fights, man. And yeah, the more I think about it, the more I feel like he just is still the best champion of this year. Of course, though, there's been so many good additions with like Adam Warlock, with Kate Bishop. I feel like those three are like the best contenders. Future Ant-Man is great as well. There are a lot of great champions this year, man. This year has been so good champion-wise. It has been one of the best because none of them are bad. They are just all pretty dang sweet. Some of them are like just good and not really great. But then you have these top-tier contenders, right? And it's just like, wow, what a year of champions. And now we have Silk, who honestly, okay, hold on. I think Silk might be in contendership as well for Champion of the Year. She is insane. She is just so good. Am I biased because I have a rank 2 7-star? Maybe. But still, she is just so crazy, man. And while I was talking, that was a 20-second Terrax fight, which just, you know, really does prove a point for Absorbing Man being the best champion of the year. But like I was saying, Silk is just so strong. Then there is, who else came? Oh, yeah, Kindred. We're not going to talk about that champion. But, yeah, Absorbing Man here. Now we have a fight where you can't really take advantage of anything. This is just him by himself. Not really too much to like deal with here. There are some buffs or like extra power, but besides that, it's pretty generic, right? But he still does good here, and that's what I like, because even though he can't access his cheese all the time, outside of those fights, he is still very good, and that's why I like him so much. There are some champions to where they can only work with their cheese, and like outside of those fights, they are just terrible, right? But that isn't Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man is great in any matchup pretty much. And like, who am I thinking of right now? I guess Ronin. Ronin in fights where you can stun luck and like there's a lot of buffs, he is crazy for, but by himself he is just absolutely terrible, right? But like Absorbing Man and champs like Namor, they are both really good in outside scenarios, and when they can cheese stuff, they are just top tier, if not like the best option for that fight, right? So yeah, I like Absorbing Man because he reminds me of Namor. Namor just, you know, a cheese master, but also just really good in generic fights too. So I guess that's why I like Absman so much, because he reminds me of Namor, who is my second favorite champion in the game. So yeah, Absman, really cool character. He gets my stamp of approval for sure. I feel like he is just so good and so like versatile as well. Very fun time. He is really fun to play as well. Like, I love his animations. The ball and chain are just really nice. It's just a really fun time. And yeah, the damage output's really fun as well. So he is just a powerhouse, man. Now we have this Pleasure to Burn lane. And Absman in his magma form does have Incinerate. So it's a pretty sweet time here. And yeah, his utility kit just covers so much. Like, Mystic lanes, he might not be the best for, because like I said, he isn't really a Mystic champion besides his buff duration reduction, right? And the Mystic meta is all about just nullify or neutralize, or just like, you know, having power control, which Absorbing Man doesn't have any of that. He does have some power control with his really weird ability where when he's blocking, he like reduces power gain potency, but in comparison to other power control, it just really isn't all that, right? And besides like that, he just doesn't have any form of it, or just any buff control either, with like nullify, stagger, neutralize. But that's okay, because what he does is insanely unique, and he just is really good at what he does as well. So there is no complaints from me. I feel like he is just a well-made champion. And yeah, this fight, pretty sweet. Just melted him for sure. Now we have this fight, and this fight is very fun. So check this out. We go in, and I do this. I take a heavy to the face. Check this out. Look at that. One, Uru form is just overpowered, because we took a whole heavy to the face, and we took like what, 3% damage from an Act 7 fight. That is pretty dang sweet. But also, Howard's heavy attack inflicts 5 armor break debuffs, which we are immune to, and it gives us morph charges, so we can just end this fight very fast. And yeah, against armor break, he is just so strong. Like, so strong. Here we just tank the hits, like, we don't care, man. Like, Absorbing Man in Uru form is just one of the tankiest champions in the game, if not just the tankiest champion, to be honest. Like, his physical resistance is just unreal. It is so strong. And yeah, that fight was just insanely fast. Now we have Cole here, and I play this really recklessly, but honestly, with Absman, you can be reckless because he is such a safe champion to play. Also, check this out. I block a hit there, right? And then I retaliate with my light attack. And this is cool because whenever you're unstoppable and you block a hit and then you immediately retaliate, that counts as an intercept. So you can just do a light attack there and pause your forms, which is pretty sweet. There I get hit, but it's fine. I dropped the SG1 again, and very nice damage there. I am being so reckless, but yeah, like I was saying, he is really safe to play because he just takes no damage, and also he has regen as well, and the regen is very, very strong. So yeah, this man is just a monster. He is so good. Like, both sustainability wise and utility wise and damage wise, he is just good in every aspect, right? And yeah, that fight is just over in a pretty good amount of time, to be honest. And yeah, Absman is just a really fun time, and he is just insanely powerful as well. In regular fights, great damage dealer, very good utility wise. In those armor break matchups, the best champion in the game, to be honest. He is just so powerful there. But yeah, insanely fun character, still champion of the year. We will find out in like a couple months, I guess. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Azoring Man, and yeah, that's about it for me.